Join us, we're gonna have a good time. Listen up, check us out. Use the hotline number to chime. Come on and join us. There's lots of surprise for you. Fun and family, with great fellowship too. Crystal and Sean have exciting words. I'm sure there's something that you've never heard. Sunday at 6, it's an excellent mix. We got spiritual flair, special guests will be there. Come on and join us. We're here and waiting for you. Connect with us at 6 o'clock. We want to share in all you do. Come on and join us. Come right here and find. Connect with us and share your thoughts. We want to explore your mind. Chattitudes, Chattitudes.
What's your attitude?
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 Come on and join us. We're gonna have a good time. Listen up, check us out. Use the hotline number to chime. Come on and join us. There's lots of surprise for you. Fun and family, with great fellowship too. Crystal and Sean have exciting words. I'm sure there's something that you've never heard. Sunday at 6, it's an excellent mix. We got spiritual flair, special guests will be there. Come on and join us. We're here and waiting for you. Connect with us at 6 o'clock. We want to share in all you do. Come on and join us. Come right here and find. Connect with us and share your thoughts. We want to explore your mind. Chattitudes, Chattitudes.
What's your attitude?
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 Excited today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have an all-important topic. We're doing a 3-part series on after the protest. So after the protest, what do we do in our community?
Yes.
This is very, very important to us.
Yes, it
so last week we talked about economics, how we got to band together for the black community. We had financial experts on here. They told us everything about what we need to do to better prepare ourselves, to better prepare our community, and how we have to keep our finances in the black community.
Yes.
It starts with being economically stable. And so last week we talked about that. If you missed that show, I'm here to tell you, you need to go back and watch it because we had experts on there and they told us how to diversify our portfolios and what we need to do. And you can make appointments with them. Shelby is one of our sponsors. We'll talk about her a little later. But you have to. I'm just telling you people, we got to get out there and we got to build economically. And so this is about after the protest. So today we're talking about Black Lives Matter. We got somebody who's been on the front line. We got an advocate here. She's very smart with her MBA degree. She's my cousin. I'm excited. Jennifer Moore is here today. She's an educator, a leader, a diversified trainer. So we're going to ask them, what does all of this mean? What should we be doing? How can we help our community? And so that's what we're here about. We're going to talk about that today. And so we're just so glad that you have joined us. If this is your first time, we welcome you. Welcome you. We're so excited. And I get everybody knows that I get real pumped up real early in the show. So a lot of times I got to calm myself down because I get really excited about what we're talking about and very passionate about what we're talking about. So Sean keeps me in line because she gets all of those things that we have to do in order first. So Sean, I'm gonna send it over to you, Sean. I'm gonna calm down for a second.
That's okay, Krista. Bless your heart.
Calm down.
Again, thank you so much. We want to especially thank our friends and partners, our friends and family partners, and we also want to thank all of our sponsors. And again, if this is your first time, thank you so much for tuning in. Also, if you're tuning in, make sure you text or call your family members to make sure they tune in because this is an important topic for our community. To learn more about Chattitudes, you can find us on social media. You will find us on Instagram, Chattitudes 2020, and on Facebook, Chattitudes. Also, you can visit our website, chattitudes.org.
Chattitudes.
And if you want to also support us in what we're doing with our community, you can always send a donation, any amount, to our Cash App at $Chattitudes. We thank you.
Yes, and we're so excited. And so
Yes.
today we're talking about Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives
right?
Matter.
And so I was doing some research, and it's a big thing going on right now. It's a big trend. Should we defund the police? Like, I mean, honestly, until I started doing my research, I don't even know what this means. Why should we defund the police? Because I need police protection, and I'm thinking if they defund the police and the police get abolished, then I'm just going to hire my own personal security guard. That's just me. You know what I mean? But as I begin to really start researching what this defund mean and just really reallocating resources to our community,
absolutely.
you know, I don't know that I'm not too on board with this thing. So this is what we're going to talk about today.
Right. And you say that, and I actually, you know, have a little difference in opinion. Defund, like you said, what does that mean? It just means different, you know, different allocation of funds or whatever. Just not putting so much funds, you know, in the law enforcement, which I'm actually, you know, I'm on board with that.
Right.
More funds, I believe, should be put towards the communities, the public school system, educating, also boys and girl clubs, anything to upbuild and lift up our youth.
Okay.
To help them, I mean, the police, I think they have enough funds. They got enough.
Okay. And then I started looking at the history of this
Right.
thing. Law enforcement, it says, started really in the South. It started as really slave control.
Yeah, and KKK.
Right.
Ahead
Very
of the law
interesting.
enforcement. Yeah.
Very interesting. And then it went on to the Jim Crow laws, and they were trying to enforce all of these minor violations under the Jim Crow laws. And so then law enforcement became even more hostile to us during the Jim Crow era.
Absolutely.
And so now, does that continue to exist? Because, and this is why I'm glad we got our diversity trainer here today, because how can we really change the mindset? Because this has been ingrained for years now. So can we change the mindset?
It's a hard issue.
It's a hard issue. And
It's a hard issue.
yeah, so I mean, those are the things we're going to talk about today. This is some serious stuff.
Yes.
Some serious stuff. But before we go any further, we always do our word of the week. We do our word of the week.
Let's
And so we're going to do our word of the week.
What is that?
Right. So you know our word of the week every week comes from the Urban Dictionary. We don't know why, just because we like it. I mean, it's the Urban Dictionary. So this is very interesting. I've been saying this all over the place, and I'm telling you, I'm just not that hip. You know what I mean? But I've been saying this. I don't know what this means. So our word of the week this week is 12.
You know what? I don't know what 12 is.
You don't know what that
I don't
is
know
either, right?
I don't know. And I saw that was like,
What's 12? I'm trying to count the president. I mean, like, it can't be the president, right? I mean, it's like, what is 12?
Right, what is 12? So y'all gonna tell us what it is.
They know what it is
okay.
over there.
Y'all
I'm going to
know
tell them
what
what the Urban Dictionary said.
Okay.
So 12 actually means police.
oh,
I did not know that, right? So 12 means a police or a member of law enforcement. I think it derived from most drug smugglers, actually. They used to use this to warn their clients or peddlers. They used to use this that police officers are approaching. So they would say 12, 12. So that meant that the police was I did not know. I'm telling you, I'm saying 12 all over the place.
I saw it.
I'm so confused. I saw F12. I was like, what's F12? I don't know what that means.
On the computer, F12.
F12. Like, I think it's F12. I'm telling you, until my daughter died and she gives me these words of the week from the Urban Dictionary, and she said, Mom, 12. It means police. I said, that's what it
I'm
means.
glad. Yeah, that's a good one because I didn't know.
So we
Thank
didn't
you,
know.
Diamond.
So,
Yeah.
Look at that. We learned something today. All right, we're going to talk about our sponsors just very quickly. We don't need any music for this. We're going to just talk about our sponsors very quickly, but we do want to bring it up on the screen because our sponsors are very important to us. And we have some wonderful black businesses. We got Gold Crown Cosmetics. I'm telling you, Antoinette Douglas, I know her personally. She has body butter, battle, all natural products. She basically started this company because she said there wasn't enough skin products for the black community. She's a young entrepreneur. I'm telling you, go to her website. It's goldcrowncosmetics.com. Please support Antoinette. We love her.
And next we have Nicole Company.
I have that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes.
Oh, you can't see it. They can't see me. They can't see me. Okay.
This is a lip gloss line that is committed to exhibiting beauty in various ways. This is actually by Quincy. So congratulations, Quincy. We are actually wearing this today, and it feels lovely. Thank you.
It feels lovely. Oh, and then we got Tanika Total Look. I mean, achieve your total look with Tanika's Total Look. Hey, she's serving the DMV. Call her. I'm telling you, she will hook you up. Tell her that Chattitudes sent you. She giving out a discount, I think. Anyway, she is today. 674-6022. If you want natural hair, long hair, short hair, middle grain hair, doesn't matter. She got you.
And next we have Fonville and Associates Financial Services by Shelby Fonville, who is the president. She is actually servicing the community in terms of annuities, insurance, and financial services. So reach out to her on Facebook, Fonville and Associates Financial Services, or 240-346-7430.
All right. Thank you to our sponsors.
Yes,
thank you to our sponsors.
Yes.
We can go back now. Thank you so much. Our sponsors are wonderful. We have family and friends sponsors, and they sponsor us every month. This is how we make this ministry possible.
Yes.
And so we're not going to really delay you too much any further, because what we're going to do, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to our commercial break. In the next 2 minutes, we're going to bring up our lovely, lovely guests. We want you to chime in. We want you to tune in. We want you to chat with us, because this is a friend and family discussion. Let me just put a disclaimer out there.
Oh, yeah.
These are just our opinions. It does not make us right. This is our disclaimer. The views and opinions that you will hear today, it's just our opinion.
Right, just our opinion.
Okay? All right, so it's just our opinion. But we want you to chime in, because we see so many episodes on this, so many things, and people don't have a chance to really voice their opinion. So this is for our family and friends, because remember, we always say this platform is for you and for us to get better as a people. And so we want you to just make sure you chat with us.
Right.
And when the panelists come up, ask them questions.
Right. And in case you can't get through the chat on YouTube, actually call into our hotline. The hotline number here is 240-719-2560 if you want to call in.
Right. And another thing, people say that sometimes they can't chat. I will tell you, I think you have to log into Google.
Yeah,
you got to be on your Google. You got to log into Google to be able to chat with us. Some people are watching it on their TV, some people on the computer, so they're watching it all over. But if you're on your computer or phone and you want to be able to chat, I think you have to actually log into Google, and then you can chat with us. All right. We're going to run our commercial real quick. In the next 2 minutes, we will have our two lovely guests. They are so pretty. They are waiting for us in the studio. We're excited to have them today. All right, so come back with us. Don't go anywhere. Let's start thinking about social justice reform. Start thinking about, should we defund the police? Start thinking about, what are we doing after this protest? Let's get it together, guys. All right, we're going to come back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, guys.
Talk to me, Pastor Mitchell. I don't know about you, but I've had all kinds of friends in my life. I think I've been right down that road with you. Yeah, I had some so-called friends. Yes. When trouble came, they went the other way. Tell me about it. But one thing I'm glad about, that ain't a friend like the lonely Jesus. No. Well. No. Well, he told me to run on. Jesus is my friend. Well,
lovely panelists. Look at our lovely panelists. Aren't they beautiful? They are beautiful.
Thank you, ladies.
All right, welcome to Chattitudes.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have
Thank
you
you
both.
for having me.
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome. We're excited to have.
Yeah.
We're always excited to have young people
Absolutely.
and get your viewpoints on things. All right, so first we have to my left. She is actually my cousin, guys. We kind of look alike. I'm looking at us. We look alike.
Yeah.
All right. Her name is Sade Barron. She's 24 years old, so she's in our millennial population. So I love the millennials because they are passionate
Yes.
about what they believe in. So I'm going to tell you something about her just quickly. She is a smart cookie. She is an MBA graduate. She graduated from the University of Maryland. She is a business analyst. She is actually... she is an advocate. She's been on the front line. And the reason that I told her, because she's very vocal about this thing. She's been down there. She's been protesting. She's been researching. She's been doing all types. She's been contacting our Congress members because she knows that we need a change. And so that's the reason she's here today. And I'm proud. I'm proud of her. And I'm just proud that she's my cousin. And another thing that she does, this is just off the record. She's a great cheerleading coach. She is a tough cheerleading coach. And if any of your cheerleaders are watching, they probably agree. She's a tough cheerleading coach, but she's been cheering forever. But we love her, and welcome. She's an entrepreneur too. So we'll get her to advertise her business as well. But that's Sade. All right, Sean.
Okay. To my left is Miss Jennifer, and let me just point out real quick. I know she's probably Celia's daughter, beautiful daughter. They look like twins. But Jennifer is one of 6 women with the Wells Collective. It's an education, diversity, and inclusion consulting company. And also, she is the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the Key School in Annapolis, Maryland. Jennifer has served children of Washington, D.C. since 2003 as a teacher, tutor, and school leader. She earned a master's degree from Trinity in D.C. and in educational administration, a bachelor's degree from Howard University.
HU?
Yay! What is it? HU? Am I saying it right?
You can't say it right. You can't say it right.
It's a bison thing.
I don't know. Jennifer is a D.C. native who has a love for learning, a deep connection to the community, and a hunger to disrupt inequity in education. She is a wife and a mom of 1 daughter and 2 sons, and she believes that if education is to be the great equalizer, it must be rooted in equity and inclusion. So welcome, Jennifer. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
All right, we're excited. You don't want to say anything first, or you want us to just jump right into this panel discussion because we're ready to just dive in. We ready to dive in? We ready to dive in. Let's dive in. All right, guys. So first of all, for those who don't understand, what is social justice? And I know, Jennifer, that you work on, you work for the Well Collective. Well Collective.
Yeah.
And so you, so tell us, what's social justice? What are we fighting for
So
here?
I think, a lot of people confuse this idea of diversity and what's the difference between diversity and inclusion and then justice.
Okay.
And so when you think about diversity, it's a mixture of things, but diversity isn't the answer. Like if you think about United States, it's been diverse. There have been black people and white people and brown people, but that doesn't mean that things are equitable. And so when I think about equity and justice, I really think about the actions that level the playing field, that remove the barriers. So justice is that work that actively removes barriers so that people are not equal but equitable.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that was
right.
deep. That was deep. You all get that, audience? Understand the difference between those things.
Yeah.
That's very
Because you're
deep.
not giving everybody the same thing, right?
Absolutely.
Equal means that I'm going to give you the same thing, but you have different needs from Sade. So equity means that I'm going to give you exactly what you need for success. And so,
Got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sade, why is it important for you to go down there and be on the front line? What makes this protest so important to you?
Well, first I wasn't going to go. I was like, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. I don't need to be out there in a crowd. But then I just woke up one day and I felt it in my spirit. Like, if my ancestors could be in the field picking cotton, I can go stand in the heat in a pandemic and protest and use my voice. And I feel like it's really important for people my age to be on the front line, and for people like the kids that I coach to see me out there speaking and fighting for what's right. All right, I think this is just like a right is right type of thing, and I feel like everyone in the world finally took time to stop and look. And I want to be able to tell my kids, like, I was a part of that. So I felt that it was super important for me to get out there.
Yeah.
And that's who's pretty much leading the charge are the millennials.
Right.
And then the other thing too we're noticing is that the protest looks a little bit more diverse than it did back in the 60s. So you have more white folks out there with us, marching side by side, and sometimes even leading. I mean, I've seen some videos on they in front, right.
That's what they should
awesome.
be.
Yeah, there you go.
And both of you all have been down there. So tell me what the feel was down there. And I know that, I mean, it sort of got overshadowed by a lot of the looting and the rioting and the break. But tell me, from both you guys, what did it feel like to just be there? Like, what did that feel like to you guys?
Yeah. I, similar to Sade, I was first not going because I was worried about my children and like, how do I take them down there and they keep their mask on? But I knew that I had a responsibility. And I always think about my ancestors and all of these people's shoulders who I'm standing on. So I took my children. We went last Saturday, and it was the most beautiful protest that I've ever been to because everyone was taking care of each other. So whatever you needed, people had it. They had water, they had hand sanitizer, they had snacks for the children, they had masks for you. It was, and then there was so many different groups of people saying and fighting and marching for Black Lives Matter, and I had never seen anything like that on a large scale. And then white people were doing what, in my opinion, they should be doing because their ancestors created this mess, is that they were on the front lines. And I feel like that is their role.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think, I mean, and Sade, I'll let you answer that, and then I'll ask, do you think that a lot of the rioting and the looting, that sort of take away from that? Or do you think that the media is giving an image of all of the looting, but then you miss that part? We don't see where they're handing out the water and the mask and everyone being taken care of. So tell me your experience down there. Did you have the similar experience?
Yeah, I had a similar experience. Like the very first day I went, I was protesting the week that George Floyd died, like 2 days later. So when I was protesting, we were up like directly in front of the White House. This is before they put all the barricades. And, you know, every day they pushed it back and further back. They added a gate. So this is in the beginning. And, like, I was, like, moved to tears, like you said. Like, it was the first time that I've seen that many people that look different be in the same place at the same time fighting for the same thing. So I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like a sense of pride. But I know, like, deep down inside, like, this is just the beginning. Like, it doesn't stop. But I felt glad that our voices were heard. And then as far as the looting goes, I went protesting 4 days. Like, I actually witnessed some looting, but I was live a lot, and I wanted to, like you said, the moments of chaos at the protest lasted maybe like 2 minutes max.
Oh, wow.
Like it blew up, and then it was like back to peace. Like the people that were running the protest, they would like calm the crowd down. And then a lot of the looting and rioting was also from like agitators and not protesters. So like my issue is like the media calling protesters looters. No, protesters are protesters and looters are looters. But we didn't see like the care packages that they were giving out. Like none of that was on the news. They were like everyone out there. It was like a big family, and it was the first time that I for once in my 24 years that like we are headed in the right direction.
Like unity.
Yeah.
Like
That's so good.
Sense of unity. Yeah.
So one of the questions, at this point, do you all think that you've made a difference? And kind of, and this is, and where do we go from here? Well, I mean, do you think that you've made a difference? Because I feel like, and as the Black community, sometimes we're vocal people. We're very, very vocal. We use our voice a lot. You know, where other people may actually use the power of the pen, the power of the computer, the power to, you know, send these letters, send emails. But we are vocal people. And so, yes, we're out there. We're on the front lines. We're screaming. We're shouting. We want justice. You know, free our people. Enough is enough. Free. We say all of these things. But do you think, this is from the chat line, do you think you've made a difference? And do you feel like progress is being made? Reverend Sinclair said that.
I'll say yes and no. Like I said, I think the real work starts now.
Right.
I've seen so much. It's like the world started going up in flames and people started making changes fast. It's like you can hear us now. And I think that we are starting to see things change slowly. We're starting to see laws change, or like the chokehold being banned in New York. You're starting to see things happen slowly, but I don't want our people to think that this is enough. And I don't want them to think that when the officers get convicted, that it's over, because it's not.
Right. Because laws need to be changed.
Yeah.
Right.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that this is only the beginning, and I always like to look back in history, and if we see what happened after the riots, after Dr. King was assassinated, and people protested, and they burned down things, and then eventually we saw like laws getting passed for voter rights for black men, and so we know that we have to keep going, and in multiple ways. And I love that, like, we have the young people leading this movement.
Yes, I
we
love
have
it.
social media leading
love
the
it.
movement. And so we're able to bring so much awareness. And I think bringing awareness to all of the ways that white supremacy shows up is happening now. We have an opportunity to make a real difference in the justice system, in healthcare, in the food industry, in the educational industry, because it is in every single system.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Yes.
So speaking of which, in terms of making a change, how important do you think supporting grassroots organizations is, in terms of financially, when they ask for donations and things like that, so they can do what they need to do, when they send out petitions for you to sign up and sign petitions for certain laws? I mean, how effective do you think that is? How important do you think it is?
Well, I mean, I think we're seeing how important it is. If you think about the Black Lives Matter movement, right, and how that started, and these 4 black women who got this whole, everything that we're seeing now, is because of the way that these 4 black women are able to organize in a grassroots fashion. And from what I understand, they took this model that Ella Baker had been trying to push out during the civil rights movement, but women had to take a back seat back in the 60s. And so she said, we do not need strong leaders, we need strong communities.
Yeah, exactly.
And they did not listen, because people don't like to listen to black women, but black women be knowing.
That's a whole nother issue.
And so now we have these women leading Black Lives Matter.
Fun and family with great fellowship too. Crystal and Sean have exciting words. I'm sure there's something that you've never heard. Sunday at 6, it's an excellent mix. We got spiritual flair, special guests will be there. Come on and join us.